Well, hello everybody and welcome once again to Lightning TV, brought to you of course in association with mjdphoto.biz. So it was another tough weekend last weekend for Lightning, as on Saturday the visitors to the Thunderdome were local rivals Peterborough Phantoms. Now this was going to be an absolute cracker, and so it was. Lightning taking the points 4-3 on the night, Captain Adam Carr scoring the game-winning goal in just the last minute, and that was followed by a tough road trip down to the Spectrum to face Guildford Flames on the Sunday. Now on Saturday night after the game I caught up with Lightning coach Nick Poole. So Nick, good reason to have a smile on your face tonight because at last we've managed to beat Peterborough at home.
Yeah, I mean, been frustrating the last few times we've played them, and credit to them, they've come to our rink and they've played hard and came with a game plan and deserve to win their games. And I thought tonight it was a little bit disappointing after the first period. We spoke before the game, and the first goal was key. I thought we started quite brightly for the first few minutes, but then we seemed to fade. But the guys battled, and I thought in the second and third period, they put quite a bit of pressure on Peterborough. And I thought at the end of the game we'd probably deserve to win.
Yeah, yeah, definitely deserve to win the points. Going back to that first period as well, one of the notes I made after the first goal was against the run of play, and going in after the end of the first period, you pretty much dominate the first 10-15 minutes, and then to go and have a goal scored against you like that, probably no one's fault. They just hit you on the break. It's just one of those things, isn't it? But it hurts when that happens. It
does, but that's hockey, and we've I thought tonight actually a few times we left ourselves exposed at the back and gave up a couple of odd man rushes, which something we've got to correct. But Peterborough came, they played hard. It was a good hockey game, and I think the fans go home happy.
Yeah, one word about the Thunderdome tonight. That place was absolutely rocking. The atmosphere was brilliant tonight.
It was great. I mean, it's been really impressed with the support we've had over the last few weeks. Well, all year, but the last few weeks, we've had some really big crowds, and the atmosphere has been great. And they've been nice, tight, close games. And I think like I said, the fans have certainly enjoyed that tonight.
One word of credit to Peterborough, because you say they did come out with a game plan. You have to take their hats off. They're missing a few key players for them, people like Sladek and Jamie Lyons out of the game tonight as well. But one thing you have to notice is their line three is absolutely awesome, isn't it? It's brilliant.
They've got a couple of young players that are fantastic talents. I think both Cloney and Hook, really impressed with them, and they gave us a lot of trouble tonight, and probably thought they were the best players on Peterborough, at least up front. We really seemed to struggle with their speed, but I thought after a little while we seemed to cope with them a little bit better. But credit to both those lads, that whole third line. I thought they played really well.
Definitely names to watch for the future, and also going back to Lightning now. Good to see the big man Wiggy come back tonight, and the even bigger man Zato back on the ice. The team looked pretty complete out there tonight.
Yeah, a few of the guys are still, probably not quite at full fitness. But I thought Wiggy really came in and he gave us a bit of a boost tonight, and all of a sudden there seemed to be a bit more physical presence. But I thought Ross Bowers and Grant McPherson as well were outstanding. Connor Good, when he played, were outstanding tonight. And our third line, a bit like Peterborough's third line, they kind of led for us, and I thought they grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck, and credit to the rest of the guys they followed.
One word about, a couple of words. First of all, Grant picking up his man of the match, thoroughly deserved tonight. But going back to Connor, ever since he's joined the Lightning setup and been in pretty much every game, he's grown in stature, hasn't he? He's really coming into his game as a hockey player.
I think Connor's he's a credit to his family, and the way he's started the sport quite late. I think probably 14, 15. He's obviously a good natural athlete, but he's really worked hard. He's come training with the Lightning, every single Tuesday, Thursday for the last 3 years. He's just got better and better, and he thoroughly deserves every minute of ice time that he gets.
Yeah, one good player, and certainly another one to watch for the future. So on to Guildford tomorrow. Going to be a tough game down there.
It always is, but it's those are the games we look forward to. I would think probably the champions elect. I think they've had a tough game tonight. I'm not sure what the final result was in their cup semi-final up in Manchester, but we'll be going down there tomorrow, looking to get 2 points.
It wouldn't be the first time you turned them over in their own barn this season, either, would it?
No, I think we really enjoy playing Guildford. It's one of those open games. They come to play. They want to beat you on the scoreboard, and there's no. They don't seem to set up to defend. So we just like the way the games are played. It seems to suit our style, and I know the guys know that we have to be on top of our game if we're going to get anything out of it.
And then back at the Thunderdome next Saturday, that's going to be a very, very tough game. Swindon Wildcats come to visit, and they're going to be no pushovers, are they? They're pushing hard now, and they seem to be coming into their own, a bit like Lightning tend to do this time of season.
Yeah, I think Swindon probably the last 2 or 3 years, the back end of the year, perhaps the first half of the year they've underperformed, and then the back end they start to come good. So they're certainly a team to watch out for, and we're quite aware that there's a good chance we may face them in the playoffs. So we know it's going to be a tough game, and they've got some incredibly talented offensive players that we'll have to keep an eye on. But we've also got a tough midweek game next week with Sheffield. So the games are coming thick and fast, but it's a fun time of year.
Well, Nick, thanks very much for talking to us. Good luck on the road in Guildford tomorrow, and of course down in Sheffield. And we'll catch up with the guys next Saturday back at the Thunderdome.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
That game had pretty much everything, didn't it?
It did. Yeah. We know we haven't played well against Peterborough for the last few games, and they have beat us in the last couple at least, and especially last time at home, which was a real low point in our season. But since then we've picked it up, and tonight we knew again it was going to be one of those games where it could be a banana skin, and it looked like that for a little while. But I suppose halfway through the game we really picked our game up, and we pretty much dominated. And I think we deserved the 2 points, to be fair. So
I think over the course of 60 minutes, I think the 2 points definitely should have gone Lightning's way. I don't think anybody will argue with that. I think in the first period there was a collective sigh when you dominated the first 10, 12 minutes and lose essentially a soft goal, wasn't it? It was a case of here we go again.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously they get confidence from getting that first goal, and then they score a second goal, and we're just we're kind of looking at each other on the bench going, oh, here we go. But the thing is, we've just said to ourselves, look, we've got to remain positive at all times. People are coming off the ice upset, obviously, that we've conceded a goal, but you've just got to pick each other up, and that's what we've been doing. And in the change room, we've just said, look, we've got to turn it around now. At the end of the first period, everyone's got to pick their game up, and I think we did that. So again, it was massive 2 points tonight. We needed them because we still believe we can finish. If Guildford are going to win the league, we still believe we're going to finish second at least. So. It was a great 2 points to get in the end. So
I think Basingstoke have lost again tonight against Slough Jets. So when you say the second is a possibility still, isn't it?
It is, yeah, and obviously that's what we're aiming for, as high as we can possibly get. And it's a shame Basingstoke. Well, they've kind of fallen in the last few weeks, and Guildford they're just looking pretty steady to win the league. But as you said, we're closing down. Manchester, I don't know what their score was tonight, but we're certainly close to it anyway. And if we keep performing like we have been doing over the last few weeks at least, then it's certainly a possibility. So
you noticed putting the first period aside tonight, because obviously it was against a run of play that Peterborough scoring. I'm not you've got to give them credit because they're a very, very hard working team. And just speaking to Nick Poole about their line three, huge amount of talent on their line three.
It is, and a couple of them are face cages. That young Hook in County, that really great prospects for the future. And the little County, I know he's a Scottish kid. I think he's from Dundee, and really impressed tonight. They are hard workers. We knew that, but we just, you can't play them any different just because they've got a cage on. And we just said, look, we've got to finish our hits on them, which we did again. It was sort of halfway through the game, and they certainly changed from then on because they started the game really well, that line, and they were, the most effective of their lines, I think. And they got a couple of goals. So, but we had to change it up, and once we started hitting them, it was kind of it kind of slowed them down a little bit. So
it did slow them down, but it's one thing you can say about them having a face cage. They're not the type of players that hide behind those, are they? No. They let their skills do the talking. They certainly do that. And you did have to raise your game.
We did. They're good little players who can count in. I'm sure they're going to be, they'll maybe go on to the Elite League in a couple of years' time. But they're in a good place right now to kind of get the minutes on the ice that they need. There's no point in them playing Elite right now because they just sit on the bench. But it's good to see a couple of young players coming through in this league, and hopefully they'll go on to bigger and better things for the national team as well, maybe. So.
Certainly, looking at the Lightning team that was out there tonight, you got a couple of the big guys back, which was good to see. And I'm kind of going back to the first 10, 15 games of the season when all of a sudden Lightning had a bit of bit more of a physical presence, and maybe you've missed that due to injury over the last few weeks.
Yeah, having Wiggy back is certainly a good thing. He certainly intimidates other teams, and you can see that. People will talk big from standing on the bench, but as soon as Wiggy stands up and says, "Look, if you're gonna cheap talk, do something about it," they just back down. You go and change their diapers basically. So
he can play the game as well, though, can't he?
Yeah, when he's got the puck, we just want him to hold on to it and wheel, especially as he gets behind the net, because no defender can get him off the puck. And me and Ross Bowers, we know that, so we're going to kind of come as close as we can and hopefully get the puck off him, and we'll try and get some scoring attempts. And the show tonight, I think our line got 2 goals, so it was good to see that tonight, and it's good to have him back. A big man as well, Lucas. We need everyone back if we're going to mount a challenge for the playoffs, especially. So.
Yeah, that intensity certainly starts to be building again now. Sort of the momentum had to stop a little bit because of, like I say, the injuries. Not so much the injuries, but the timing of the injuries, and more than one person being out or 2 people being out at a time. But that intensity is really starting to build now, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the perfect time to do so. I think if we're not going to win the league, the last few weeks we certainly want to be firing on all cylinders, and especially going into that playoffs, the quarter-final weekend, we need to be flying, because it's not going to be easy. Whoever we face, if it's Slough, Swindon, whoever, we're going to have to be playing, full pace. And as I said, tonight was the main thing: get 2 points. It wasn't pretty for the first half of the game, but we go down to Guildford tomorrow, and we like playing Guildford, so just got to keep this train rolling, as they say. So.
Yeah, bearing in mind this is a weird situation, isn't it? Because you obviously would have been on tenterhooks tonight because let's face it, you're a couple of banana skins over the last couple of weeks. You've managed to get results against them now. Telford the other week and Peterborough tonight. But you're quite comfortable going down to Guildford because you can beat them.
That's it. I mean, it's kind of been the story of our season. We're losing to the teams at the bottom where you think we would win, and we're beating the teams at the top. Guildford, Basingstoke. We played really well against, and Guildford suits our style. I think. We forecheck hard against them, and I don't think they really like that. So that's what we're going to go down tomorrow and try and do: forecheck them, frustrate them as much as possible, and hopefully we'll come out with 2 points. So.
Yeah, and also you'll certainly want to have a good game tomorrow because I believe it's your birthday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, another year older now, so I'm certainly feeling it. Me and Carsey did yoga last night to try and get the old muscles a bit more flexible. But he scored 2 and I got 1, and we're going to do it every Friday, I think now. So
I never thought when you first came here, Grant, you'd be saying things like, "I'm knocking on a bit," and it's even yoga's starting to hurt.
Yeah, I came here when I was 19. I suppose can't believe I'm 26 tomorrow. But I love my time in Milton Keynes so far, and hopefully there's a few more years left. Yeah, I love this team and the organisation. So it's just another year for me. I still feel young, so that's the main thing. So.
Brilliant. Well, road trip tomorrow, not such a bad one, but then tough trip to Sheffield on Wednesday, and then Swindon Wildcats in town next Saturday. That's going to be a toughie. It's
tough, especially it's Sheffield midweek. It's a tough one. It's a long way to go, especially with guys working during the day. And any week when you've got 3 games in one week, it's always tough on everyone. But we're enjoying it right now, and we've been on a good run, and now we'll certainly try and get as many points as possible, and hopefully we'll come out of that with 6 points next week. So.
Brilliant. Well, thanks very much for talking to us. A thoroughly deserved man of the match tonight, and hopefully 2 points for your birthday down in Guildford tomorrow.
So, yeah.
And another few points next week.
Yep. Thanks very much. Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Well, once again, as we say every single week, many, many thanks to the guys for coming up and chatting to us after the game, of course. Now let's go and check out all the results from the weekend and see what that does to Sunday night's league table. So, as well as that great result for Lightning, there were just 3 other games in the English Premier League on Saturday night. It looked like a great game at Basingstoke as the Bison battled back from 3-0 down against Slough to take the game to overtime and then win the resulting penalty shootout, the score there being 5-4 to the Hampshire side. Elsewhere, Sheffield shocked Swindon at the Link Centre as they beat the Wiltshire outfits 6-4, and Telford continued their recent run of good form as they beat Bracknell 5-2 at home. On to Sunday then, it was back down to earth with a bump for Lightning as they seemed to lose control of the game at Guildford as the Surrey side scored 7 goals in 8 second period minutes. Flames took the points there, the final score being 7-1. Bracknell ensured a win this weekend for Peterborough and leapfrogged their rivals in the league standing with a 4-0 shutout win at the Hive, whilst Manchester kept up the pressure for second place with a 6-2 demolition of their nearest challengers, Basingstoke, up in Altrincham. Sheffield made it a maximum points weekend and still refused to be counted out of the playoffs as they enjoyed a 6-3 home win over Telford, and Swindon left Slough with the points after beating the Jets 5-4 on penalties, their first overtime win this season at the 18th time of asking. So onto the league table then, and Guildford sit 8 points clear of Basingstoke, and they'll be crowned champions this week if they manage to beat Peterborough at Bretton this coming Wednesday evening. Basingstoke are now only 5 points clear of Manchester, with Phoenix having a game in hand, then it's Lightning just 3 points back also with a game in hand on Bison. Slough's average weekend sees them slip to 4 points behind Lightning, now just 2 points ahead of Swindon, whilst Bracknell jump above Peterborough into 7th spot. Sheffield closed the gap on Peterborough to 5 points, and they'll be looking to close that even more as they entertain Lightning on Wednesday night up at Ice Sheffield. So with 3 more weekends of the regular season, there's still some battles to be had up and down the league. So there you go, pretty much the 8 playoff places decided as we go into the final few weeks of the season now, although there will be teams jockeying around those 8 places to decide who plays who as we come into the quarter-final weekend prior to Coventry. Speaking of Coventry, the theme this week for Lightning fans, of course, is the Hawaiian theme, so hopefully all of you out there will be buying your Hawaiian shirts and your grass skirts. The guys, as normal, will be decorating the block this year, and they're asking for just small contributions. There's a box on the stand, on the supporters club stand, every home game now. All you need to do is just pop £1 or so in the box. That will help to buy the bits and pieces to decorate the stand. It's as simple as that. Don't forget as well, coming this week is going to be your opportunity to sponsor those unique playoff shirts. There'll be no replicas made at all, just be 2 sets home and away. So just for £85, you can sponsor a shirt which you'll get to keep at the end of the playoffs. It really is a chance for you to have a piece of Lightning history. All you need to do, it starts at 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning, this coming Tuesday morning. All you need to do is email Dave at B2 Promo Design, tell him which player you'd like to sponsor, and see if you can get your shirt that way. It's as simple as that. This week's 50-50, once again, we want to thank everybody for buying their 50-50 tickets. This week's winner took away a great £295. These draws are working so well. And on behalf of the Supporters Club, we want to thank each and every one of you. So that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. Only a few more programmes as we come into the end of the season, of course. But next week's visitors to the Thunderdome on Saturday night is the Swindon Wildcats. Face-off is 7 o'clock. If you want more information, of course, all you need to do is go to the Lightning website, www.mk-lightning.com. Pick your tickets up by Friday if you want to get yourself a discount, and we'll certainly be there with you. Until next week, take care. We'll see you then.